rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Calling the meeting to order at 6:03. This is our regular business meeting, June 10th. Just a few announcements before we begin. As always, John, you want to get rambunctious? Remember, we have decorum. We have to keep it calm and civil.
Okay, I will. I
Okay.
promise.
Let's be respectful
Try
of
not
each
to get out
other.
of hand.
Okay. If you have phones, please silence your phones or put them on mute. We are recording tonight, so mind your P's and Q's. You will be famous on the interweb. If you need paper copies of the agenda, which will be up here, those are available as well. So let's review our meeting here, our current agenda. We do have some changes, and I have these in red here. I'm going to add one more work session meeting minutes here to approve tonight. And we are also going to add an executive session at the end after good and welfare. No business will be conducted. We will recess into the executive session to discuss a legal matter, claim against the borough, and then we will come out of that executive session and adjourn. And apologies for this last minute change. We're all finding out about this right now. So these are the two changes I have. Anyone else have anything to add to the agenda? Okay, there's nothing to add.
Well, on the agenda, well, changes the agenda, I do have things under mine, I don't know if you added them or not, but I have some things I need to talk about, the culture and rec.
What are they? We're gonna add to the agenda now.
Well, yeah, it would be about the August, day, our, community day, and that's a couple things quickly on the community day, and then.
Do you have any business? Because this
Yeah,
is a business meeting.
Yeah, I
Are
know,
we
I'm just
vote
gonna
on a
mention
motion?
things that we already,
Are we gonna vote on a motion?
I have a right during the business meeting
What?
to take the floor as well as any borough member. I do things that I've taken from last meeting that were brought for this one. I have prepared, and I do have a motion under.
You have a motion. You have a motion.
Yes, I do.
What is the motion?
I will give you the motion under the time, under my culture and rec position.
No, we're gonna approve the agenda now. We need to
well,
know what your motion is.
The motion would be to move forward, allocate monies for, the removal of the Japanese knotweed to address it in the borough.
Okay, so you have a motion to allocate monies for knotweed ratification?
Yep,
Ratification, excellent.
because it's gonna take staff hours plus money to do it properly.
Okay, that'll be under new business, culture rec.
Yes.
Anything else you wanna add?
And then mention, just an update on the, community day.
Okay, you can put that under good and welfare, okay? Since it's not a motion. Okay. Let's take a look here at our meeting minutes. You know, we have a backlog of meeting minutes, and we have two. We discussed the January 14th regular meeting minutes at the work session. You all had copies to review. We sent out a copy of the work session meeting minutes from June 3rd, and I should have a chance to review those. If there aren't any objections to these, we will go ahead and approve these so they can stand as the official minutes for these meetings. Any objections? No? Okay, so these meeting minutes both stand. Okay, getting that checked off. All right, Mayor, do you have anything for us?
Yes, I do. I got a call this week from Officer Wettig, and the police officers and the fire department requested use of our park on Tuesday, July 21st for 4 hours to, they're going to hold a youth fair and combine it with the fire department. They're gonna have a truck there. They wanna have use of the bathrooms, so they definitely want to use, one of the shelters closest to the bathrooms. There will be further discussion down the road. I'm gonna let the chief know. Please let Officer Wedding know that, yes, they can have, and we've already penciled in the date. They're just gonna let us know what hours, either 4 to 8 or 5 to 9. Not a problem, we're at their discretion. What they need from us is, do they need to have the kitchen shelter, or is this going to be, they're not doing any, they said they're gonna cook out, but on grills, they told me.
Yeah. I think that he's still in development of the program, and he's gonna be publishing something for the kids to be able to, to get with their parents on. So he's just making sure he has use of the areas that we need in order to conduct this, so he'll update you with additional information as it's amended. Their plan for that block of time is because this is gonna be something that is over several dates, and that's one particular date that we'll be looking to, conduct it here. So with authorization for the use of the facility.
Okay, so right now we have him to use shelter 3 and 2, which is a lot of grassy area and part of the playground.
Okay.
Did he need the ball field or not? Because we didn't include any of the ball field area.
I can ask him and let him.
Okay.
I kind of have him in charge of directing this, and then he'll update me once he has everything, cemented in. So if that's a question that I need to.
Please ask him if he needs a ball field or whatever. We'll have to check with you about the ball fields, if there's games or something. Jason,
Which days?
just, right now, just July 21st, correct?
Yeah, it's on the calendar.
Okay, and,
Well, they're that whole weekend there.
well, this is a Tuesday.
Yeah, the weekend before though, there's ball games the whole week.
We're not worried about that. And that's, I think, that's it. So please let them know, and share the word, and let us know if you need any help from us. We'll make sure the bathrooms are in working order. And if you need anything down there, let us know.
Thank
And
you.
we will definitely show you where everything is for lights and whatnot.
All right, thank you, Mary. Thank you, council, for your consideration.
Absolutely. So you're good to go.
We have a related motion on that matter coming up
Okay. I didn't know that.
on the agenda.
Okay. The next thing I wanted to bring up was, there's a solar Helios solar panels out of Moon Township, and they do want to have a solicitor's permit to go around here. I discussed in length with him. I think they've been here and been kicked out.
Couple times.
Yes. So he went in depth with me about everything. He's planning on meeting me Monday here at the Borough Building to sign up for 2 weeks. He wanted it a couple days. I said, we don't do days. You pay for 2 weeks or 4 weeks. So we'll see what they do. And I did tell him I give everything, including background checks, to the police department, and everyone is aware of this. So just wanted to let you know that
Let me know too.
oh, I will. I will, so,
I mean, I don't mind escorting.
That's okay.
I like escorting them out.
I just didn't want to keep going.
Okay, thank you. Let me know, we have to do roll call. Let me
Oh,
know.
yes, okay.
Let me know, give me the permit.
I will give you a copy. I give
I'll put that
it.
on the
Make a
website.
lot of.
Jenna,
Sure.
Chief Johnson has, I give everyone the paperwork. But Chief Johnson, I give the background work and all the information, what they're driving and everything. He has everything, okay. So that is everything
Chase one of them out.
that I have. That went by me in my office this week, okay. You can do roll call.
Okay.
Sorry.
We are We're out of order with this roll call. Maybe have roll call, Madam Secretary.
Mr. Kevin Porkins.
Here.
Ms. Sue Wood. Here. Mr. Jason Stoyl.
Here.
Mr. Joe Rusak.
Here.
Mayor.
Present.
John McAdoo.
Here.
Bob Tate.
Here.
Justin Woodring.
Here.
Present.
What?
We had to say present.
Okay,
Yes,
we have a
present,
physical
she said.
quorum.
Present.
Okay. Okay, Office of Tax Collector. Anything?
Just two quick things to ruin your day. School taxes come out July the 1st. Millage is going to be determined this Thursday at the board meeting in Chippewa.
Does that mean they're raising it again?
It doesn't mean they're raising it, but doesn't mean they won't.
Certainly not gonna lower it, I'm sure.
That's it for me.
Okay, would you let me know? I'll put that information on the website.
Okay.
Okay, professional reporting. Let's hear about the financial report, if you have anything. Justin, you want to say a few words about that correspondence that we've gotten? Anything else from the Secretary's office?
First, Justin.
Yeah, all I want to say is like about like approving them, there's like some, not, perfect, consistencies with like check numbers and stuff, and so I don't want to approve any of those like financial reports per se, and I think, later on, we're gonna talk about the resolution to get, Agway to start doing that, so I think like going forward, we wait until they kind of have that stuff back and for those financial reports. So, but I think you should, talk about like the numbers and.
Just balance.
Yeah, well, do your normal spiel, but I just don't want to like approve that financial report. That's all.
Yeah, but-
No, I'm just gonna read balance.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's perfect.
The balance of the general fund is $1,635,788.85. The balance in the highway aid fund is $15,661.09. Pliget investment fund, $4,186.72. Pliget capital purchase fund, $1,874.84. Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund, $64,782.19. Pliget Emergency Management Fund, $13,115.07. And the Sewer Maintenance Fund, $181,332.12. And those were all as of May 29th of 2026. That's it for the financial.
Any correspondence?
Yes, I have 3 things for correspondence. One was sent to everybody from the Rakunas Law Group, which we will be discussing later, for a partial reimbursement for the sewer line excavation and repair costs from Lisa Bailey at 3625 Jean Street. Do you want me to go into any more detail than that? Okay. And then another one I got is from the Community Development Program of Beaver County. West Mayfield is already enrolled in this. Basically, if we don't respond, then we're staying enrolled. If we respond, we can continue getting the funds from the Beaver County Community Development Program, from the home program and the Emergency Solutions Grant. I can send this to everybody to read a little bit more as well, but basically no response is a good response. We stay included in it and we keep getting our money from them. So I can send that to everybody too to read. That's what it says. Says this decision to be excluded means the municipality cannot receive funds from the Beaver County Community Development Program.
Potential funds.
Potential funds.
Yeah.
If there's ever a fund, we cannot get it if we exclude ourselves.
Well, let's not exclude ourselves.
That's what I thought. Their response is a good response on this.
That grant opens up in January.
Yes.
It's rather short, like a month or two.
And there's another one, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, no later than July 7th. So there's that too. And then notice of payment from the state police fines and penalties. We received on June 1st, $322.55 from state police fines. So that was all put in our account as well. And that's all I have for correspondence.
Okay, good. Alrighty, let's go to public safety. reporting, we did receive the fire report from Chief Stowe for May. That is not on the website yet, but it will be very soon. He's not here. We did meet with him earlier, and we had our, just to give you a background, we were contractually obligated to sort of meet informally in June of this year to sort of talk about how we're doing. And so we had that meeting with Sue, and it was great. So we're on a good footing with that. That report will be up.
Do you want me to read it just so it's on record?
Sure. You have it?
I have it pulled up, yep. There, 13 total incidents, total estimated fire loss was $500, and training hours, they did 393 hours of training. And then if we're gonna talk about police, 257, closed, cleared and closed.
Steve, do you want to say anything?
I just would comment, we were discussing soliciting, so there was soliciting reports in the borough last week. It was not soliciting, they were doing the electric shutdown on Chippewa and Big Beaver, and obviously this area as well, so that was a courtesy by the companies that were doing it to try and notify residents, but I guess they got chased out of here by some of the residents because they thought they were solicitors, so they were not, but I just want to make sure everybody was aware. So, other than that, unless council has any questions.
I escorted some solar people out last week. Yeah.
It's an issue, isn't it? It's an issue. One possible way to address this is to, we talked about this a lot, next month, probably, there will be some movement on this to get the solicitation ordinance updated, right, and more effective. So that should be coming. Okay, Joe, Mr. Solicitor, what's going on in your world?
Oh, well, you have one thing there already down under old business. And of course, the only other thing is the letter we received this week. We'll address that in executive session.
Okay.
Okay.
There were a couple of things we've been working on, the PUC stuff, any,
Oh, the PUC stuff, that was filed in a timely fashion.
okay.
We had to get a response into that. My thanks to Jake, your son, okay, because he talked to you on the phone for a while and gave you some background on that. I'm going to call them and see if something can be worked out on that because it's going to get ridiculous because we're going to have a hearing and go where? In Harrisburg on this? Maybe be in Pittsburgh, I don't know, but even then. But yeah, we had to have a response in by a certain time, the response was in, okay? So.
Okay, good. Anything, I use your discretion on how to talk about this, anything you can share on the proposal to East Borough?
Well, yeah, okay, I can do that right now, okay. They brought it up, and I said that, Borough West Mayfield was inclined to do a division of assets and money. They said, well, we're staying with Jim's. I said, I understand that. That's Jim's money, why should we have to divide it with them? And I said nothing more about it at that point. And I will tell you this, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna find them, because it's conflict of interest for me to have another attorney address that issue with them. So that's what I'm gonna do. In fact, I got a phone call with them pretty well. I'll leave it up to them, but I know a couple guys that might be willing to do it, you know what I mean? So that's where it's at right now. That just came up last week.
Okay, okay. So, would you stay with us?
Yeah.
They would choose the alternative?
Well, yeah, and I mean, frankly, it doesn't, either you guys or they have to have somebody else advise them. Because I can't do both for obvious reasons, okay? And I was choosing to stay here with this. It's not that I'm giving up Eastville, I'm just saying on this issue, on this question, they need somebody other than me to advise them. And that's why I didn't belabor the point at the time, when they said, well, we just think we should get the whole thing. So, yes, that's how it's gonna have to be. We'll see if it can be resolved in that fashion, but.
Right. Just out of curiosity, why would they think, did they give a basis of why they thought they were entitled to the whole thing, although we,
Well,
in fact, we put more money into it than they did in terms of dues?
I did, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I did mention that to them, and they, well, are they reimbursing themselves for that amount of money? And I don't know what that amount is, I have no idea, okay? And I don't know if it can be calculated either, okay? But that might be one way to resolve the issue, by saying we have to be reimbursed for that. But no, because I think that they look upon gyms as a separate entity, okay? And that is, not that it's Eastville's money, but it's GEM's money. And if Eastville's still partaking of their services and coverage, that money and assets, some equipment should be available. And and also, I think it was Dave Izzo mentioned, he goes, well, Beer Falls didn't get anything when they withdrew. I said, not to my knowledge, I don't think they did get anything, so.
I'm not sure they asked.
Well, I'm sorry?
I'm not sure they asked. Beaver Falls
That's a good point, so.
Okay, so to be continued, right?
I'm working on it, yeah, okay.
All right, so what, are we gonna still be, we still have to have an emergency management?
Yeah, you do by law.
And we do.
So what if we were to take what we think is ours, and move it into another one? Would
That's that muddy water where
Yeah, just to understand, yeah.
might be an entity.
Yes.
Well, yeah, apparently it is an entity now, okay. Whether they were or not, I mean, the problem is when we say the money was parked in our general account, for lack of a better way to put it, okay. Does that make it our money?
Yeah. But possession's 9/10 of the
So
law.
regardless of that is like the taxpayers paying
Yep.
for the fees and the permits or the registration for the trailer, and stuff
And
like
that's
that's a
an
problem.
excellent point.
Yeah.
If we can go back and at least get a pretty good idea, maybe not exactly,
Yeah.
but within a ballpark idea of what that would be, I think we got a very good argument there to say, you're entitled to reimbursement for that.
Yeah, even the taxpayers' $1,000 that was put in there every single year, you know what I mean?
Well, but everybody was putting in, Beer Falls was putting in
Sure,
money,
yeah.
we were putting in money, Eastville was putting in money. I'm talking about expenses related to
To
the
that,
operation
okay.
that you guys, from time to time, I don't know how often it was, were, paying, so.
We were paying wages to Eli and Bill. Were they?
I don't know that off the top of my head. I would be surprised. But I don't know that for sure.
This is complicated. But let's continue to move forward on this.
Absolutely.
I do believe that, and I believe the citizens would understand our position here of the amount of monies that we invested into this program, what we got as a return, what assets are still there available that would better serve us in our departure from this GEMS arrangement. So anyways, we'll continue that. Okay, we have no other professional reports here, engineering, independent auditor, anything like that, so we can move on to citizens. If we have anything to speak on the agenda, we will have a good and welfare spot at the end of this, so if you have anything lighthearted and good to share,
I'll wait.
you hold off, Kathy.
I'll wait.
Okay, if you speak, please let us know your name and your address.
I'm good in welfare because I have pleasant things to say.
Oh, so you think I ain't got bad things to say?
Hold on one second, Rich.
Okay,
Jason?
Paul, come.
You're saying
I'll
this
say
is-
come through when we get there. No, we did okay, that's just recording, okay, good.
Okay, Kathy or Rich, who's talking?
She don't wanna go first.
Rich, go first.
She's at the end.
Okay,
Okay. What I'm come here for is I went through this with the other regime that was in charge over here, which did nothing. We got heavy traffic coming up and down 37th Street Extension. I know a lot of you people don't live on 37th Street Extension, I do. And I see it all day from 5 o'clock in the morning till dark. Heavy trucks, it's a 10-ton weight limit road. And I work for a trucking outfit and they're gonna take advantage of every little bit they can get off of you. Now we got these big dump bucket trucks going down over here. They got 80,000 to 100,000 pounds of stuff on there. If you add that up, that's more than 10 tons. And they're going up and down and they're using jake brakes. I don't know if everybody knows what a jake brake is. But it'll shake you right out of your bed if they do it right by your house. And they've been doing it. Kathy heard it over at her house.
All
She's
the
not
way
even
down,
on
all the
Thursday.
way to Sheets, I could hear that truck.
You can see the ripples in the road.
Is that,
Yeah, they're tearing our roads up, is what they're doing. And we just had those done. PennDOT did those roads. I asked the other regime to go to PennDOT and find out, and you know what I got from that? Bill, although they won't do nothing about it. That's what I always got from him. So,
it's local delivery probably.
where's the local at?
I figured they were coming in and out of that new plant up there.
Are we getting tax money out of that?
No.
Why ain't they coming in the Chippewa way? They got a way in, and I know it's illegal that way too, but tear up their roads, not our roads. They're gonna race past our, up and down that hill.
Oh, that's what we discussed prior to the meeting, is if they're coming in and out of development, we can't restrict that. I mean, that would be considered local and that would be permissible. The only thing we can do is, if our officers see it, stop the truck and determine what their origin is and destination is.
Right.
And then if there are violations, we have waymasters, if there happens to be somebody that is working at the time, that they can put them on scale and see. So we have means to.
I understand that part, but there's more trucks than theirs going up and down that hill. You got delivery trucks, you got semis going up and down. One semi is, if you get one sleeper truck coming down over the hill, they're overweight. Let me tell you, I worked for them for 25 years, I worked trucking outfit.
Yeah,
Used to
our
watch
biggest-
them go across the scales all the
I
time.
think our biggest challenge that would be determining where they are coming from and what their destination is. I mean, obviously local in West Mayfield is different than local. They're not coming down that hill to go to some.
See, we never had that problem before when they had the scales out in Chippewa.
They don't have skills anymore.
They don't have them no more, they shut them down.
No, we have scales.
But you have portable scales?
Yeah.
No? See, you can weigh them that way.
So technically, should they be using Chippewa's roads because they're delivering in Chippewa?
They're getting the tax money out of it, we're not. We're not getting a penny out, and they're tearing our roads up.
That's technically state road,
Well, yeah,
tearing theirs up.
but it's a 10-ton weight limit road. And do you see how much more traffic we got coming up and
Oh,
down
I
that
know.
road? I'm telling you what, you thought there was an accident with Oros over there. There's gonna be a bigger one with a truck coming down over there and hitting somebody. I don't even wanna say
Some of
about
those
it.
semis go into the mill on
They're going too
West Fourth
fast.
Avenue.
Yeah,
They come down the hill and go into the mill.
and they got signs back here saying not even use that road. They're on 4th Avenue now.
Or Third Avenue, I mean.
Something to reach
Yeah.
out to the facility if they have, we have a similar issue.
4th Avenue has a
See,
sign that
like,
says
Third
GPS.
Avenue.
Where,
Third
where
Avenue.
our city
Yeah,
has
but
reached out
4th
to
Avenue
them,
has
coordinate them
the
to
GPS.
their deliverers, instructing them not to use certain roadways within the city, and that may be something Borough can do as well. I mean, that's something on top.
I mean, we used to do it when B&W was running.
Sure.
They all come up to 3rd Avenue and Standard Steel and turn there. We didn't say anything about, because we were getting the tax money from that, paying there. These guys are coming out now and they're going up over the hill instead of going down the hill now. They're coming out, how many times they took this, stop sign out at the corner tower. They make illegal turns, they gotta go all the way around to make that turn. It's just bad, and I just wanted to bring it up again. I said it like, 8 years ago, when the other regime was in here, and Bill,
We're the new regime.
yeah, I know, that's why I wanted to bring it up to your attention now. And see if somebody can go to PennDOT and see what we can do about it, you know.
Okay. Rich, what is your street address?
604 37th Street Extension, let me talk.
So it seems we're not gonna solve this tonight, but it seems that we need a plan of action to
Yeah,
address
just
this.
somebody to take a look at it.
Right,
and
based
see what's-
on enforcement,
Hey,
based
Chief,
on
I talked to him, yeah.
PennDOT concerns. They're part of a lot of different, lenses we can apply to this to figure out what, a plan.
And even talked to Chippewa out there too about
Chippewa,
the
exactly.
trucks coming in that way.
Okay, I think that's,
Thank you.
we'll work on a plan of action for this.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Any other citizens?
Kathy?
No, I'm good and welfare. I only have good things to say tonight.
Wow.
She's at the end.
Different.
Okay.
Yeah,
don't
we
believe
can't
it.
wait.
Leave right after I make everybody mad, it doesn't matter.
All righty,
Tina,
so
Margie, Nora,
no more citizens, we'll go ahead and move on to old business here. We have, let's see up here, we have a couple of old things under old business here. They are still tabled, however, except for under general administration, I'm gonna move to withdraw this motion for the borough secretary phone for the time being. I just don't wanna leave it out there on this. The motion that has been tabled since January 14th is a withdrawal from the GEMS agreement. That is sort of still pending this issue here with the assets. And then also under public safety, we still have a motion since December on finalizing our emergency management operations plan. We still have some work to do on that. We have a goal to finish this up in July. That's the goal anyway. So I would like the budget and finance motion to remain tabled. If there are no objections to that, we can continue with that. I would like to I made the motion on the general administration, motion around the phone. I'd like to withdraw that. And I'd like to continue the tabling of the EOP motion. Any objections to that?
Nope.
Okay. That takes care of old business. Let's move on to new business. We have a couple of things here under budget and finance. We discussed at our work session meeting the parameters around a new contract service agreement with Butler Agnew and Associates, certified public accountants here. Two service agreements. One, the first one here is to assist us in completing the 25 municipal audit. And the consensus at the work session meeting is that this is an appropriate thing to do. And we all had a chance to look at this service. This is the resolution here, which basically we approve of entering into this contract with Butler Agnew. And the other motion here, the resolution here is related. It is also for Butler Agnew to take over our financial bookkeeping services for the municipality, to get us squared away for this year. It's rather open-ended, but that's the way it was written. It's sort of a hourly kind of an expenditure here. But we also agreed that this would be a very wise and prudent thing for us to do. So let's take this first resolution here. Let's go ahead and go around the table and discuss. Justin, your thoughts on the resolution to help us get the 25 budget on audit?
Yeah, to recreate all of the work that they're going to do and kind of set up the books, I think it's necessary for the whole year. It's a backlog of recreation of things.
Okay, Bob? Your thoughts?
And they're CPAs, so like they have like a better idea of, sorry, not to cut you off, but they have a better idea of where things need to be, right? More so than I think us starting from scratch.
I agree.
John, your thoughts?
I agree with that. I think it's a necessary thing. We need to get this, all straightened around. This is what it takes to do it, then we better do it.
Mayor, your thoughts?
I agree. I think it's wise that we step in that direction.
Jason?
I agree with what Justin said in our discussions at the
Work session.
work session, yeah. We went into length on it. I'm in agreement with it.
Sue?
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I agree as well, and I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that this expected expenditure would be, to recall, 3,000,
3,400 or something like that.
yeah, it's in that range. Yeah. So, Okay, let's go and call the question if we have nothing else to discuss. Justin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes, Bob?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
I vote yes as well, so the motion passes for the resolution. Okay. The second resolution here, approving the contract for our bookkeeping services. Justin, your thoughts on that?
Same thoughts, just recreating 6 months worth of stuff is just hard. So they're the right people to do it. And so going forward, having them do that and being on pace, it doesn't mean it's gonna last forever, but it's a good starting point, so.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
John, your thoughts?
agree.
Mayor, your thoughts?
I'm okay with 6 months open-ended. So it's not really, it's open-ended
Yeah, it
in
is,
case.
yeah,
yeah.
we can, it's sort of like
Yeah,
as needed.
right.
I didn't see like a term.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's just based hourly, yeah.
So we decide to continue, we can, just
Right.
go along that route.
Okay,
That's, yeah, that's how I worded it.
Jason, your
I
thoughts?
agree on discussions.
Yes.
Yeah, I certainly think this is a wise move, the professionalism is necessary. This cost here will be ballpark, you remember? I'm trying to, not to pull up this big old contract.
It's like 14,000 is for both of them, I think, right? Total is what he planned for the whole year.
For both these
Yeah.
services, I think it's closer to highest end, around 18 maybe. Highest end.
See, I was thinking it was around 50.
15,
Yeah, I can't
15.
remember.
I thought 15 was the high point. I could be wrong on this.
Yeah. That's why it was an hourly, just an
Yeah.
estimate, yeah.
The 2025 one is definitely a kind of hard coded in there, around like 3,000 to 4,000 ish, I
Yeah.
believe. And the other one is more open ended too. It may take 10 hours, it may take 12 hours, kind of thing. Might take less.
Yeah. We definitely have the budget for it, so I'm definitely in favor. So let's go ahead and call the question. Justin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
I vote yes. So the motion for this resolution passes without objection. Okay. Let's move on to culture and recreation now. Jason, you have a motion, you want to go ahead and read your motion, so.
Yeah, the
we're clear on
motion
this?
was, I'd like to, as we discussed in our work session about the Japanese knotweed, I did the research and come up with a proposal that of the start off of $2,000, because that's gonna take some man hours and also the chemicals to get rid of this Japanese knotweed. I do have some pamphlets here. I did send the email just again to Jenna, and with this presentation here, I have copies for the board if they want to look at these. When you go to look at the proposal, anybody want?
I have not, we don't have, it applies to me.
I'm forwarding the email to everyone.
Okay, it's for you. Okay.
Okay, give that to you.
Yeah, this stuff is very difficult. As we and I'm not gonna go through, read it all, you guys can see it, can damage and actually go through the concrete and through the road, and since it's so bad along Rock and a few other areas in West Mayfield. It also takes out some biodiversity in our infrastructure. We can't afford to have any damages to other things. One plant can go 25 feet and can go down as deep as 15 feet.
It's in here.
Okay,
And we can't just keep mowing over because it actually makes it stronger and it spreads out more.
so let's, if you don't mind, because I want to give you the privilege to sort of speak on this specifically. It is a problem, it's a tough problem, so you're requesting 2,000 for eradication effort, right?
It could be less. It could
Up
be
to
substantially,
2,000.
yeah,
Is
but
that
it
what you're
could,
asking for?
well, up to, yeah, but it could be substantially more over the years because it takes up to 3 years to do it with the chemicals. It's not a 1 year quick, there is no quick fix.
Well, let's talk about.
Right now,
motion
yeah.
This is just chemicals.
The chemicals right now, yeah, just
When you say 2,000, you're not figuring in man hours or anything, it's
No,
just
not right now.
chemicals.
Yeah, the chemicals,
Okay.
and then if we have to call in somebody, I have somebody that I'll talk to from Penn State, they might be able to give us some more suggestions, but that would be more of a favor that they'll come in.
This is not just spraying the tops.
No, because that, all that does is defoliate,
Yeah,
and
you
then
have
it
to
comes
cut it at
back
the
twice
bottom.
as strong.
Right, you have to cut it at the bottom, remove that all the way.
Yeah, well,
None of
you
that
can't
can,
even dig it out, like it's, it
No,
can
not
get
dig
out
it,
15.
you have to chop it.
Yes.
It all has to be chopped.
Yeah, us mowing it keeps it off the road, but mowing it actually is making it stronger,
Mm-hmm.
and it's spreading, so every piece that we cut, it's spreading it.
Well, you have to cut it and then you have to spray it.
Yeah,
And then you
each-
can't leave any of the loose remnants
Yes,
there after
and we
you cut
can't
it.
dump it, we can't burn it,
You have to bag it up
Yeah.
and let it die.
yeah, for 3 days. In the hot sun, it has to get to 115 degrees.
Okay, let's go around and deliberate over this. Justin, your thoughts on allocating up to 2,000 for an eradication effort here?
The training aspect of it is where I don't see taken into consideration, because even if they get chemicals and it's like, here's the chemicals, it's the training of, say, our maintenance guys to,
Oh, no, it would be someone coming in to spread, like to do it, have someone come in.
so like, this is, the $2,000 is paying for someone specifically to come in and just
Spray it.
eradicate that.
To try to, like, we would have to assist in cutting it, but the 2,000 would be paying for the chemicals.
Have,
The chemicals and the service, or just the chemicals themselves?
Well, at least the chemicals, I don't know how much, I mean, because it is so extensive, if we don't deal with it now, it's gonna, and you can vouch for this, it exponentially each year is getting worse and worse. Like, it was just at the bottom of the rock, and in the past 5 years, it's almost to the top, like, I keep pulling stuff out so it doesn't go past Lennox, like, it's up to Lennox, it'll jump, I mean, I keep pulling it out of the gutters, or out of the ditches.
just my perspective, I just don't see a full plan. It's like 2,000 for chemicals,
The
but
initial chemicals for this year. You
we
said
don't
what-
know, like, if we just get the chemicals and we go out and cut it without any training, and they're not spraying it right, or they're not cutting it wrong, that's my problem, right? So,
cut it at a certain time of year too, it's like later in the
Yeah,
year.
and that's
cut it.
in
It's the
on your.
spring, it's
Like, even in
spring
your-
and fall.
even in your description, you have like, you have to wash the boots and stuff like that, or anything that touches that, so that seeds don't go in it, with like, all of that stuff, that whole training piece of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right now it's being mowed. It's helping us as we go down the roads, and the stuff that's hanging over. However, it's spreading it and actually
But
making it
2,000
worse.
can be like how much are the chemicals?
They can range, it depends on how much we're gonna need. I mean, honestly, that's conservative. I mean, just the area where his could be $2,000.
So, we're
So we
talking,
could be talking 20,000 for
yeah,
West
so
Wheatfield.
that's
But
my
it's initial.
problem with it, is if we allocate 2,000, we hire someone in to do the service, right? Are we gonna be able to do it ourselves going forward? How much is that person going to be charging us? You know, so like 2,000 for chemicals, I'd rather see a whole package where it's like 2,000 for chemicals. We got a quote from this guy, he comes out for $1,500 for 8 hours, trains our workers, says exactly how we have to do it. So like in the future, if we hire 7 more workers, they all know how to do this process, right? That's my thought on that.
Okay.
Hopefully if you could eradicate it, you wouldn't have it anymore.
Yes.
That's the theory.
It's gonna be a 3-year, minimum 3-year to actually get rid of it. It's,
I understand it's a problem, I'd hate to throw money at something and
Yes.
not,
actually, this is a small amount, like conservatively, you could throw 20,000 out, and it'd be along the same lines. If you get it in your yard, get it out, even if it's a little, oh, look at this little plant. If you don't get it out while it's a little plant, like he will not ever get it out, you can ask him.
Yeah.
He's gonna probably, it would
I
take
got a lot of
20,000 just to get it out of his.
Yeah, I mean,
40 years.
I'm looking at, you'll need a truck with a water bin on the back to spray off all the equipment that they used. You know, I'm just saying, it's like that whole plan, I think is what we need to approve personally, like for me to.
The two is just basically getting it started, like getting someone in with the chemical, and then that could be part of it. I mean, even if that's the initial, that's why I went with something low, like two. I mean, might seem like a lot, but like when it's damaging your yard, damaging your concrete. if we have to
I'm not
replace
denying
road,
the problem at all, I'm just denying the whole plan, right? Like, if it takes $10,000 to do it, then it's $10,000 to do it, but right now, if we throw 2,000 at it, it's like, oh, actually, we need 18 more. It's like, well, we just gave you 2,000. You know what I mean? Like, now come back with a more. It'll be the same conversation. You know what I mean? Me personally.
Bob, you have the floor?
I think it would be a good idea to get somebody that actually sprays this stuff and really knows about it to come to our work session and talk about it before we jump in.
John?
I agree with that.
Your thoughts?
I live with this stuff, so I know what it's like to get rid of it. It does not go away. I've tried all kinds of things. It doesn't disappear. It comes back every year, better, harder, it goes to different places. It's tough to get rid of, but you gotta start somewhere, and I don't know if, $2,000 would be enough to start it, but somewhere along the line, you gotta start. And if we do enough research into it and find out, there's a guy that'll come out here and do this for whatever price it is, and we get it started, then we have a starting point, and we go from there, so. You gotta start somewhere, you can't just ignore it, it's not gonna go away, so it's only gonna get worse.
Mayor, your thoughts on?
Yes, would,
Am I in the wrong place? For?
Depends, is you here for the AA meeting?
No, is it supposed to be a party here?
No.
No.
Bringing us
This
babies?
is an AA meeting? I need to come in here and shit.
Bringing us babies.
That's the third one. They
Oh, Bob.
Yeah, she put this address.
I would have put the greatest answer I've ever.
Yeah, we were painting
This
it.
is
I like that too.
I need to go there.
Okay, let's bring the meeting back to order. Your thoughts on Japanese knotweed and the motion on the table?
would Penn State, send some of their,
I can reach out.
just ask them if
Yes.
they'd send someone to talk to us, if they do this, if they have a program that they do, they might do this for interns to have a project that they do this for nothing.
That could even be something with the grants too, but if we can get started this year, that would be the 1 year
I mean, it's a
start.
start, you're already in the spring, and then in the fall, they may come back and follow up. I never even knew about this until we heard about it
Yeah, I
last,
agree.
at our meeting.
I've had it.
And you have it
I've had
in
it
your
in my
yard,
place,
you
but I
have it in
never knew
your
what it
yard.
was.
Oh, it'll
Just thought it was
destroy
some bad
It
weeds
gets into your.
that I throw out every year.
Okay, Mayor?
But I think that's, reach out, if you're, all this research you're doing, you might find, or even Penn State, Beaver
That's what-
Campus, that's,
Well, that's what I mean, the person.
yeah, did I say
the
Penn
arbor-
State already?
yeah, the Horticulturist to come out and look at
Yeah.
our trees, I'll talk to him too.
Okay.
Community college, yeah, either one. That's my thoughts,
I agree with Alicia, that's why the Penn State Extension Office exists.
yeah.
They're there to serve us and we have questions. And I prefer that first because I think if we have companies come out, they're going to want to sell us their product. Let's get an extension office opinion first before we have any businesses come out. Because again, they're here to sell, extension office is not.
As much as you think you have
Knotweed.
it, the house that's on the
You got no
Harbison
weed.
has 10 times the amount. The house with the kid,
Oh,
Recorder's
yeah, that
house.
whole
The whole
hillside.
hillside.
Yeah.
And I can see it
Weatherly
coming
house.
up through the plastic.
Joe
The plastic
Whitley,
didn't do any good at all.
Across the street.
But he was trying.
David.
Oh, yeah, Dave.
Yes.
Make it
Yeah.
happier.
David
Yes,
Whitley.
he was trying,
Really?
but
It's the
not
whole
knowing what it
hillside.
was.
Okay,
That's black.
let's bring this back here.
You have no need.
We want no weed, that's.
Yeah, we do want no weed, but
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, okay. You done?
I'm done.
Okay.
Extension office.
Yeah, so it is a problem, and thank you for, addressing this.
Thank you.
Brought it up.
Yeah.
Very much for the input,
anybody else that
yes.
would like copies, let me know, I'll give you emails.
You were
Reach out to me, I'll send you
Thank you
this.
so much.
Just this same thing.
passionate guy.
Oh, it's horrible. It's taken over. If you go down Ingridge, it's on
No,
both
yeah,
sides of the road. It's
all
on.
everywhere.
Ingrid shut the road down last week all day long just to trim theirs.
And it gets down in the waterways and it's going down. You're gonna have problems with Beaver Falls. It's already in the waterways. I see it along the rivers and it's horrible. It's taking over the biodiversity, shades everything.
Okay, let me see if I can move this along.
But I would like, I mean, just talking with John, go ahead.
Let me see if I can move this along. So, I do agree that the problem needs to be addressed. 2000, I don't know.
Can we hold this motion?
Yeah,
I'd like to
that's what I was gonna
withdraw.
suggest, because
Can I
it seems
table
that
the
people
motion?
want, so would you be amenable to
Can
tabling
we
this?
table this
for,
until our next
where you
meeting?
can sort of flesh out more of the
Yes.
concerns here?
I'll see if I can get people to come to our information meeting, at least somewhere different. We got one guy out from Penn State, see if they
Yeah,
can come.
that's why they exist. So they need to come.
Okay.
Pine Street, they
So
can come
if
out.
there are no objections, we'll table this motion and consider it back at the work session and if, we'll vote on it, obviously, at the next business meeting here. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Okay, under general administration,
Well, under the culture recs too, you requested this as well, park rules, I sent to Joe. I will send them again to him tonight. He said he didn't have an opportunity. Again, do you want?
No, I was gonna say, I apologize for that.
That's all right. We'll get those and I don't know, we'll have to vote on it next meeting then, 'cause, I mean, unless
yeah, if you have a legal opinion on that list,
he
whatever.
didn't, he said he didn't change.
No, I mean, next time.
Yeah.
We'll tee that up for
For
council's approval next time. Jason, you had brought up the idea of elected officials being able to be hired here as borough employees, and we had a little discussion of that. There are some statutory limitations on this. As it turns out that, yes, elected officials can be hired to work for the borough. If the population of the borough is 3,000 or more, absolutely not. But fewer than 3,000 residents, yes. There are some still caveats in there. This motion here on the table is in response to your concerns here. And I think the resolution, if we're going to do this, permit this, be in line with the statute, I think it would behoove us to put this as a resolution. So this resolution recognizes the Pennsylvania Borough Code, its restrictions on public employee, elected officials being hired. It mentions that, one would have to be legally qualified for that job under the Ethics Act. Say for example, when we vote on this, and you say you were seeking a job, right? That's not something that you would vote on, right? So there are things like that, you know what I mean? So those are concerns here. And also, any public elected official who wants to be hired, that appointment has to be approved by council by majority vote. So this isn't reinventing the wheel, this resolution. It basically just reaffirms what is there, and it gives us guidance here for when this comes up in the future. And that's what this resolution does. I hope you all had a chance to look at that. Let's discuss. Justin, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is reinventing the wheel of that statute, basically. I'm saying, yeah, the rules are the same, like to secure their own employment, it's basically, a council member can't create a job for themselves, yeah. So, yeah, it's good.
I think it's a good idea. a lot of times you do get in a bind and need something done. And, sometimes you get tired of donating all the time, just, so a couple bucks here and there.
Well, you are an example, an elected official who's working.
But this is, I was just mentioning it because to cover you guys, that was the only reason why.
resolution for this though?
Um,
Is it just,
This is more policy guidance for us,
Okay.
because no one had any clue when this came up. And so we were scrambling, searching, finding it out, looking on the phones. So this resolution is really a policy statement. It's convenient for us.
okay,
Right?
that's good.
It doesn't, contravene law, it doesn't create law
Yeah,
or anything like that.
That's fine, that's good.
John?
I don't have any issues with this thing, so I guess it's okay. I'm not wanting a job, so it doesn't matter to me.
I think if you zeroed in on this, Joe, you'll zero in on this. This little statement here, it says, appointments and incompatible office, states that unless there is incompatibility in fact. What a catch-all phrase that says, if you're not consistent with the facts of the law, right, this won't apply. So that is in here twice, in fact, so. Mayor, your thoughts?
I'm okay. I just forget what brought this up.
It was Jason who wanted help.
No, I mentioned.
Mentioned something about helping,
And I wanted to make sure I was doing right,
Right.
covered.
Yeah.
But then I thought it was.
We're covered by insurance.
Yeah, you would
Yeah.
know about insurance, yeah. Legally permissible?
But if it's under 3, do we even have to approach it then? Since we're under 3?
Actually, you do have to.
Oh,
You have to abide by the ethics laws, you have to abide by the majority vote of the council.
Well, that's what I meant. You still do.
Yeah, I think you meant like.
Just
the
don't be creating a
that's
job for
No.
yourself.
Okay.
Or my son is.
Oh, we see where we're
looking for one,
going.
I'm like, yeah, he's like, Dad, I need a summer job.
I'll bring one for you.
All right.
Okay. Sue?
I think it's a great idea. It's the beauty of a community that has under 3,000 people. We have to be flexible with less than 3,000 people. We're not a big city.
I'm gonna drive the summer truck this winter, so.
I feel the same way if you're done.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I think, we're small, sometimes we just have to do what we need to do. But if we're gonna do it, let's do it right, consistent with the law. Let's go and call the question. Justin?
Yes.
Yes, Bob?
Yes.
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, and I vote yes, so the motion passes without, thank you. I'm losing my place here. Okay, the motion passes without objection. All right, the next item here we have is a motion directing the creation or modification of job descriptions for the positions of Borough Secretary Treasurer, Code Enforcement Officer, Emergency Management Coordinator, Planning Zoning Officer, and adjustment in compensation commensurately, and in seeking council's final approval of the modifications. So if I could just point of privilege here, it was noted in our assessment from the stamp consultants that we don't have job descriptions for anybody in this borough. We actually have quite a few people on the payroll, one way or another. We don't have a single job description.
I think we all know what our jobs are.
You think? Let me tell you what your job is, and you tell me to discuss. But this goes back to, the previous effort here. If we're gonna do this, let's do this right. What this motion is doing is, it's saying, okay, let's work on this. Council declares we're gonna work on this, we're going to flush out what these job descriptions are, these duties and so forth. This is a starting point for the conversation of what these jobs are, what people do for the borough, what the salary is commensurate with those, those duties and obligations and so forth. It is a conversation starting point here. So that's what this motion basically does. Justin, your thoughts?
No, it needs done, I'm for it, I wanna, yeah.
Okay with it. Tom?
Yeah, it needs done.
John?
Same.
Agreed.
Same, agree.
Yeah, it's the professional way to do it.
Professional way to do it. Okay, So let's go ahead and call the question. Justin,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Yes.
Sue?
Absolutely.
I vote yes, so the motion passes without objection. Okay. The next motion here is a motion to waive the park rental shelter fee for the Beaver Falls PD Fire Department event on July 21st.
Absolutely.
Yes.
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 Do we need to discuss
We
it?
need to discuss it.
I don't think so.
Are there any objections
No,
to
no
the motion?
No.
Hearing no objections, the motion passes. All right, it is a formality. Okay, let's move on to governance here. So there's a motion here to direct the solicitor to draft a proposed ordinance adopting the International Fire Code, which would also repeal the current fire code of 1970. This draft will be reviewed and discussed by council at the July work session meeting. Now, I guess my one trepidation here is about this is, Joe, do you think this is enough time for you to come up with a draft proposal of this?
Work session, because your work session is early part of the month, probably not, probably maybe next meeting I could at least have a draft.
That's a week
That
out.
would be our next meeting.
That's 3 weeks out.
Your next meeting like this.
Oh, the
It's
regular
4
meeting.
weeks.
Yeah,
Okay, so the second Wednesday
Like a month.
of July.
yeah.
Is that?
I think should be, I do have a question about that, if I can. Are there specific things that, this discussion I assume came from a work session, okay? Are there specific points that you folks have in mind where you feel the current fire code, as you said, from 1970, is lacking and deficient? Anything in particular?
Chief So said he's gonna send you over specs.
Okay. That would be-
Not Joe, but Kevin. So do you wanna look at that and then you could send it to Joe with all the new things that you want included?
Yeah, Chief Stowe
Oh, okay.
has an ordinance, Beaver Falls has adopted this.
Yeah.
And he has a ordinance, he says, it's a be a great model for you, and so he agreed to send it on, pass it on to you.
Please.
And he agreed to anything that you need, questions you have for him, he'd be glad to share,
Yeah.
consult with you.
Okay, that would be fantastic, if
Okay.
we could do that, yeah.
Okay.
Do you have the old one?
The old one?
The old code?
That's online. Yeah.
I'd like to see what the difference is. I mean,
Oh, don't you worry, I'll compare them.
AI.
That's my alley.
Things have changed in 30, 40, 55, 56 years.
And I'll list every single one of those.
Yeah, so again, this is a starting point, right, for us to maybe start this with the ordinance. And, we could certainly develop a greater understanding of this, talk about this, and maybe we will go back and readjust this ordinance and so forth, but this gets us going.
Yeah, because right now I'm in a vacuum, you know what I mean? I have no idea what is important, but the idea of having Mark do that, pass it on, I think that'll be very, very helpful.
yeah, because you're looking at a city compared to a borough. They have to have it. They have all those apartment buildings.
Well, we have apartment buildings.
Yeah, we've not like
We have
they.
rental units.
Yeah.
And there is a lot more there and stuff.
Chief So said they just updated theirs 2 years ago, so everyone's kinda getting behind the same ball and changing it.
And I think most of our municipalities around us have adopted this. Big Beaver, Chippewa, I think they all have. I think even White Township they have. Yeah, I did a whole thing in the Monday memo, I think I listed all of those around us who have it. So that's, your thoughts,
Yeah, let's draft it, let's take a look at it.
okay, Tom?
Yeah, take a look at it.
Take a look at it, sure.
Sure, same thing. Take a look.
Mayor?
I think it's great, and I think you should send a carbon copy to Jason.
You still have those?
There's that throw.
Let's give this,
Jason, your thoughts? You're good? Okay.
I'm good,
You're
more than good.
Okay, let's go ahead and call the question. Justin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes,
I vote yes, so without objection. Okay. Okay,
He's
the
always
next,
asking
the
on
next motion
Facebook.
here is a similar structure, but if you've been paying attention to what's going on in the world around us, you know that data centers are a big thing.
Yeah.
So, and if you're really paying attention to municipal stuff, you know that municipalities like us, especially like us, are being really blindsided by data centers, zoning issues and so forth. They are coming unglued in Big Beaver right now. Over this stuff. So this motion, again, directs our solicitors to draft a proposed ordinance amending the zoning ordinance to address data centers, to be reviewed and discussed at council at the August 26th work session. I could change that, Jeff.
Well, Kevin, I'll tell you what, look at your next entry there, I think that has to come first.
Well, you know what, Joe, point is well taken.
Yeah.
But here is why I put this.
Okay.
I put this concurrently, really, it's concurrent.
Okay.
And by the way, the next item here is a motion to create a task force to research the issue of the data centers. What a lot of communities are struggling with is the ordinance itself, not even knowing the possibilities of an ordinance. So if we have a draft proposal of an ordinance, right?
Okay.
We could look at that, agree with it, disagree with it, maybe, seek to amend it, whatever. There are differences in how those play out, right? So Big Beaver, one of the issues that everyone's pointing out there is that I forget what it's called, they basically structured their zoning ordinance with data centers that they just have to conform to XYZ, the data centers, potential data centers, as opposed to the process where you have to have a hearing, there are requirements, assessments and stuff like that in place. There are two different processes, you probably know.
Well, yeah, and I'm not aware of all the details of Big Beaver, except I know they're having real issues out there about that. And keep in mind, folks, that to amend the zoning ordinance is a different process than amending any other ordinance. You have to have a hearing, basically, before council can consider it. You have to advertise that hearing and get input from the public if they wish to do so. And yeah, it wouldn't be a separate ordinance. It'd be part of your zoning ordinance. It has to be, because zoning controls usage of property, and you have to go through that process, the original adoption, any amendments thereto of having public input on it, okay? And you don't want to say, well, we don't want to do that, we'll just do a separate ordinance. If you do a separate ordinance, I don't care what kind of usage you're talking about, solar arrays, those are big in some places, wind farms, newer things like that.
Yeah.
But if you're doing even this data centers, that kind of ordinance could be unenforceable then. It'd be a waste of time and money. You have to make it part of a zoning ordinance, so that's why we gotta do that. But, yeah, but I think, I'm saying is, again, I need to know, what are we looking for? What are we trying to control? I know, like, I've looked at ordinances for solar, I call them solar farms, you know what I mean? We would have one probably here, I don't think we can.
I don't think we have the area.
Area, right, but a lot of times, you have to, they'll make provisions where you can't have the solar panels too close to the boundary line, because then there's gonna be a problem with shade coming in from adjoining property owners, things of that nature. All kinds of little physical things like that. I have no idea, all I know about data centers is they suck up a lot of electricity.
And water.
And water, yes, sir, thank you. So,
Drives your bills up.
yeah, and, so what are you saying, Kevin, come again, please?
Well, so technically, would this be an amendment to the zoning ordinance?
Absolutely.
That's more technically, that's what it is?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're clear on the truth.
We'll be putting it, like when you talked about having, now if somebody came in right now and said, I wanted to put a data center in wherever the heck it may be here in the borough, you don't have that as a permitted usage anywhere. You really can't zone anything out completely. And let me tell you that, like you can't, this used to be going back years ago, people, we don't want adult bookstores in our town. Well, who does? Okay, and, but you really can't zone them out. And this may not sound
Give a
good.
certain spot for it.
You're right, you narrow where they can be put by putting restrictions. Like I can remember one of the first ones I did was on that same issue for Pulaski Township. You make it so it can't be within so many feet of a church, a school. You make it so there has to be architectural barriers around it. if not a wall, then at least landscaping, evergreens, things of that nature. You gotta put all that stuff in there so to discourage the usage in your borough for something like that. Now, I'm not saying you wanna absolutely make this unavailable, you might not want to, but you have to be able to put such restrictions that are reasonable under the circumstances and protect everybody around and protect us too, because like Bob said, again, this is just, your understanding is probably like mine, what you read and what you see on TV. They are big resource users for water and electricity. So, but,
So can I ask you a question? What exactly is a data processing? What's the difference?
I don't know.
I mean, because our I-2 says you can have a data processing.
Is there a definition in there?
I don't know. I'd have to look into another spot and maybe,
I don't think so.
I'm just, what I mean? That seems like a really open word, like it could mean anything, I don't.
But even if data processing equals data center, we still have the ability to make it either permitted or conditional. Those are the two terms, permitted or conditional. And what Big Beaver did was they made data centers permissible, XYZ. Where conditional would be like, you gotta have a hearing, there are all kinds of questions, other things.
Right, and permitted means there's no, the borough, the township, wherever you're talking about, unless it's permitted use under certain circumstances, they don't need a hearing, they just, as long as they meet that, they get a permit.
And that's what that says in right now, is that's permitted.
Permitted use. Conditional use means it has to come before you guys. And there'll be a list of conditions usually in the ordinance, so say you meet X, Y, and Z, and maybe any other term the court uses, reasonable conditions. Well, sometimes you get into what's reasonable conditions, okay? But it's up to council. But even if somebody wanted to put one in and they absolutely, there was no provision for it, they can ask for a variance. That's where you go, that's the most extreme. You have to really deviate from that zoning ordinance because we want to put that data center in or whatnot. Those are hard to get because you have to show that it can't be used for any other, the property can't be used for any other permitted use, and it's a hardship not of your making, okay? Like I saw one time where it was in South Beaver, this other lawyer made me laugh. They wanted to put in a solar array farm, the solar panels commercially. We can't use the property for anything else. It was a strip mine. Well, who strip mined? Well, my client did. Okay. Well, then the hardship is of your making. So don't come here and say that, you see what I'm getting at, okay? But that right now, that's probably the only way, unless, like you said, Tina, unless that fit in there. I don't know.
I don't know if that'd be like splitting hairs, I mean, I don't know.
I could start some research on that, Kevin.
Okay,
Sure.
I would like to move the motion formally to go ahead and get a draft proposed amendment to the zoning ordinance that addresses data centers. That would give us something.
Conditional, right?
Perhaps.
Well, I see, my gut reaction, Justin, I would say conditional too, because, like I said, permissible means permissible use. Like, if you're in a residentially zoned district, do I need permission? Do I need to get permission to use it as a single-family residence? No, that's a permitted use.
Yep.
I don't have to, you guys can't tell me what to do with that property. If I want to put a store in there, it's a different story altogether, okay? Conditional use means that we're gonna let you do this, but we have these conditions, and that's what's critical. You gotta find out what kind of conditions are, off the top of my head, I don't know. I'd have to do the research on that.
Yeah, because we may want it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, please.
And if we
please.
don't want it at all, then we split the adult bookstore place in half and we say data centers can go there.
We're subdividing
Yeah.
the B1 zone over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Joe, my question for you is, do you think August, the August business meeting, you could have a draft?
A draft,
Okay,
nothing final.
okay. And that's what we're looking for. To start this conversation with something tangible here. Okay. So the motion here on the table is directing the solicitor to draft a proposed amendment to the zoning ordinance to address data centers to be reviewed and discussed by council at the August 26th business meeting. By the way, this is consistent with the resolution we passed earlier on how to process, how to create ordinances here. So, okay. So Justin, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I said my piece. The goal is to just have approval, right? We don't want anyone to just like come in and put a data center without us knowing. That's,
Sneak it in there.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm all for it.
I'm for it to get a draft.
Same here, yes.
I'm, are you gonna get community input on this? Not yet.
That's coming up the next item. We'll talk about that.
Okay, so,
Sue?
yeah, I'll drink your coffee.
Mr. Alpert decides to sell
I'm
to
not
a data
confident about
farm.
it.
We're right now kind of in limbo with that, and there's nothing saying Mr. Alpern won't decide to sell it.
Okay, let's go
Hey
ahead and
Kevin,
call
while you're talking about the zoning here, I got a call from AJ. He wants to buy one of those parking lots and use it as a lay-down yard.
That's all it is.
But I'm just wondering, is that,
But bring that up later. We'll figure out what to do with that. Okay, Justin, let's call the question. How do you vote on motion number 2 here under governance?
Yes.
Yes, Bob?
yes.
John?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes,
And I vote yes, so this motion passes without objection. Okay. Under public safety, Mayor, to your point here, a motion to create a task force to research the issue of data centers and municipal zoning and to gather community input on the matter. Now, why is it important for us to do this, a task force, to make this a little bit of a formal thing? Well, you know, we've got municipalities around us, New Beaver, Big Beaver now, further down Shippingport. There are a lot of communities that are dealing with this. You know, it would be great for us to be able to sort of invite them in to hear what's going on in their community and so forth. This would be a great spot, our community room here, to open up and to have something like a little mini town hall, if you will, on this issue here. So what this motion does, formalizes this task force, gives us the sort of license to go ahead and do this work here. So, Justin, your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, Bob?
I'd be all right with that.
Okay, John?
I think it's a good idea.
Good idea.
Good
Will
idea,
you lead
yeah,
our town hall?
yeah.
Okay.
Find out everything.
great.
Good idea.
We don't want to be Big Beaver. Or
No,
whatever,
Dennis looking at you, what do you got?
whatever that beaver is. Well, no, we don't want to screw our people. That's what happened there.
We are getting screwed.
Is that your statement, official statement on this motion?
We don't want to be them people.
Did I say that really wrong and funny? I don't know. I'm too late.
no, I got
We
it.
don't, want- we want our community to know what we're doing.
Protect it.
We want to protect our community.
I do, I voted affirmative too, but I just wanted to say one last thing on this little point of privilege. This type of thing, just like the task force around our sewer rates or potentially raising the sewer rates, this is in direct response to, in the past, when citizens were not included in these conversations. There was no outreach, there was no opportunity in a structured way for citizens to come, sit down, share, be a part of the team, help us work on solutions, right? This is an opportunity structure here for civic engagement. I think it's very important for us to do this. So. Okay, so call the question. Did we do that? We just went around the horn.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Okay, this motion passes unanimously, without objection. The next item here in public safety is a motion to prioritize bringing select high-priority stop signs into compliance with PennDOT regulations. You may wonder why this is on here. we have some stop signs. Now, we have an effort, we have an initiative to look at stop signs throughout the borough. And if need to be replaced, we replace them, adjusted, whatever. But that's an ongoing effort that Sue is spearheading. During this process, it came to our attention that we have some stop signs that are so far outside of PennDOT regulations that I'm not sure if the police could enforce that, any issues around that. I'm sure that a lawyer would have a field day. If someone plowed through a stop sign at the bottom of West Third and Patterson, that was basically a cement barrier, right? And damage took place. All stop signs need to be on a breakaway system. That's a PennDOT regulation. So if it's a sign that's in the clear zone, it's gotta be collapsible, right? That's what they mean by a breakaway system. That is not, a cement block is not a breakaway system.
Some will break.
Some will break.
Break away your car.
Yeah.
How fast your drive is.
What?
Are we liable if someone gets hurt?
Absolutely. It's all fun and games till the child lawyer comes and someone sues us over something or takes us to court over something like that. And the issue is that we have stop signs that's not in compliance. We have other stop signs that are not in a concrete barrier, but they are on posts that are really out of spec, right? The ground post should be no more than 4 inches sticking up out of the ground with breakaway bolts, one system anyways. So I talked to Brian about this, and Brian told me that in the past, he wasn't permitted to buy breakaway bolts. One stop sign we have has 4 bolts through it. Like, it ain't going nowhere. That stop sign ain't going nowhere. Well, that defeats the purpose of a breakaway.
We don't have very many breakaway stop signs in this borough. We got a lot of signs, and it's gonna be very,
We have quite a few.
How many?
Quite a few. But the point with this
That are
motion.
breakaway already?
No, we have 106 stop signs.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, that we don't have that many that are breakaway, right?
I don't think we have that many.
The
Oh, I
point,
know we don't have that many.
the point of this motion is for us to deal with the high priority issues that we have, like on the bottom of West Third and Patterson, down there. That stop sign that's cut, when you come down Harbison, that stop sign that's way over here on a telephone pole, which should not be on a telephone pole unless we have written permission
It's been
from
knocked
the
down a
owner.
couple times too.
Yeah, and that's the reason it's been
That's a
knocked down.
bad, that's a weird intersection there.
Well, that,
That used to be a parking
yeah, so that is definitely, that
Yeah.
stop sign is way out of compliance for lots of reasons.
down there.
Used to be a
Yeah,
parking
pretty
lot.
Where they got the stop sign.
So I don't know what these stop signs are, but we do have a few that are gonna have to take a little bit of resources, time and effort to fix, right? According to the standard, compliance standard, so that's what this motion is doing.
How much money do we have to budget? How much money's budgeted that we can put into that right now?
I don't
That's the big
have,
thing.
I don't have a budget spec on that, but I'll tell you this, do you wanna sign off?
No.
So this seems like a prudent thing for all of us to do, is to go ahead and address this issue. Right? This is permitting Brian to go and do what he needs to do, right, on some of these very egregious, out of compliance stop signs. So, Justin, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the budget too, right? Obviously, I don't wanna not sign off on fixing these high priority things, but if it's a $30,000 stop sign that we need to fix for whatever reason, right? Like, should we put something in play on that where who gets the final approval on how much the total expenditure is gonna be for that, to fix that stop sign? That would be one of my concerns, right?
Do you wanna handle it like any other public works expenditure, if there's money in the budget?
I would be okay with that, for right now. We'll have a better idea of what that budget looks like, once we start getting, moving on that stuff. But like I said, if it's $10,000 because we have to pull up somebody's, telephone pole to move it over here, to put this here, to make it comply, I don't know.
$10,000 ain't gonna touch it.
But you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know, like, are we gonna approve that, just like, are we okay with that, is my point.
We have to be prudent.
Yeah, so, as long as that's that thought process is there, I'm okay with it.
Good budget sense, right?
Yes,
That's what you're at.
that's all.
Okay. Bob, your thoughts?
I would say take care of the ones that are, like you said, really egregious. And that one at the bottom of Harbison, that's gonna take some, I don't know if that's gonna need to be engineered,
That's gonna have to take some thought,
because
that one.
it's definitely in the wrong place. And put a stop sign where it should be, you're putting a stop sign out in the middle of the road.
There was one there, wasn't there?
It used to be.
Yeah,
There used to be one right there and somebody hit it, that's why there's like a mill of them.
It's been hit a few times down there.
PennDOT's LTAP, a pamphlet that addresses stop signs has a diagram almost exactly of Harbison Road. Angle thing, and it shows you where the proper placement should be. It'll take some line striping, it'll
Yes.
take movement.
Probably have to do a survey to figure out
Lane survey.
There used to be
that
lines.
property there, because that, like you said, that used to be a parking lot.
Yes.
Where you're driving now used to be a parking lot.
And what we've done by putting the stop sign way over here, because the norm is they should only be about 2 or 3 feet lateral off the roadway. Most drivers see a stop sign, they think their road is about 2 feet lateral. We're encouraging people to drive onto that private property with that current placement.
I do.
So you do.
What I do.
You
I do
There
too.
used to be a curb there. I mean, there was lines there before.
I mean, it looks like you're supposed to.
Yeah,
The
it looks like
sign's
you're
here,
supposed to,
you pull up by the
And
sign.
that's because, I mean, we contribute to that, right? So I think we can address that here.
Yeah.
And some of this stuff, honestly, we'll have to give it some thought, right? We've been dealing with a stop sign issue in front of Kathy's place in the 236, right? We're thinking through it, right? We're not just being stupid about it, we're thinking through it, looking at research, put some cameras on there, right? Caught you. We caught you, Bob, doing beautiful stops there. Beautiful
Yeah,
stops at
yeah.
the stop bar.
That's right.
Just wonderful, you're an example to everybody. So we can make a difference in this stuff. John, your thoughts?
She made me have to go all the way around the block to avoid that stop sign.
Instead of stopping, you just take the long way home.
I think we need to start somewhere with these stop signs, if that's, figure out the worst ones, and then go from there. And then see what really needs to be done, how much we're gonna get into as far as money goes, so. I don't know what's gonna take, I have no idea what it costs to put a stop sign up, how, right, bar to put it on, and how high it's gotta be and all that stuff. And who knows, I don't know that stuff.
Mayor?
I think one at a time. Figure one at a time. That's all it takes. Just like in baseball, singles. Get around. One at a time. We'll get you there.
One base at a
You don't need to do all of, study one, start. I think the camera over here is good. I wish you would have showed that video of her place. I wanted him to see it. It was, I think Chief should see it.
You mean the one where Mark and Sadie ran out?
It doesn't matter. I think that's a good thing when people start taking pictures. I do. I wish we had more people taking pictures. Okay, but I think one at a time. Get high priority. And as many of them get knocked down, you gotta replace, I'm just sorry, you gotta replace them. There's gotta be something you can do. If it needs to be retractable, it's gotta be retractable. I don't know what else to
Right,
tell
the
you.
person has to pay for it too, if they hit it, that's a.
Yeah, isn't that,
That's a fine, they have to pay for it.
You gotta catch them first.
Yeah, but.
well, when they hit it, it goes down.
Yeah.
But who's there to
But you
see
don't
it?
know.
Still gotta pay for the bolts and whatever damage it is.
Jason, your thoughts?
Okay, my thoughts, I mean, to start off, there is definitely a need, okay, and also address and agree, part of what Justin said with the budget. So I think it's prudent, it's not noted, I mean, we don't know which, I mean, we definitely need certain stop signs addressed, but to get to which specific signs, we need to be research specific before we spend X amount of
The
dollars.
worst ones first.
Well, the worst ones, what is that? There is a need, but I believe we should table this to do the research, which is what worst. Someone that lives on one street is gonna say, hey, this is the worst. Someone on another street is gonna say, this is the worst.
Well, I
Where
think
do
we can
park
figure
this?
out what the worst
Well,
ones
that's what
are.
I'm saying, it's the same thing.
I don't
The
think
ones
most
we
people
lost in
don't care.
court.
Huh?
Most people don't care about replacing their stop sign and not mine.
Well,
Maybe
Well,
Kathy. 'cause
but at
she's
least, I mean,
Stop
we can,
sign Nazi.
we can still move forward with this without a motion to start on this, but to say we're gonna allocate and prior to bringing all these up to compliance right away, we should go through and make a list. I mean, he's already working on them right now, the ones that he can. But, you know, Brian's got a ton of stuff on his plate, he's one person, I mean, so let him continue with the ones that he's already working on. And then these high priority ones that could run into the X of thousands of dollars possibly of, that we could go in to do some research on before, we vote on this.
Sue?
Well, we've already started doing the research. We've
Yeah.
identified two high priority ones, the one on Harbison, the one at the bottom of West Third that's in a barrel of cement.
right.
Those are not gonna be exorbitantly expensive. Borough Council has cut corners before, and when they did, it ended up costing more money. So there's absolutely no point in that. Just saying no to breakaway bolts is just unbelievably dumb. So, and we started, we've already spent time, I was out there in my pajama bottoms, looking at Harbison and figuring out where the lines need to go because it's full.
Yeah, Brian could
I
start
started in
painting.
pajamas, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We know that in a minute.
Officially on public record.
Yes, for the record.
He said, I'm outside your window, come on out here, because I just got a stop sign replaced on Jameson, because it was so faded you couldn't tell it was a
Yeah.
stop sign, except for the shape of it. So that was the start of all of this, and again, Brian and Gerald did that. I don't know how much it cost, it spent them an hour, it cost them about an hour, because they had to dig and, you know, kind of do some stuff, but, again, we're looking at this as a safety feature. That's the important thing,
Yeah.
is I'm a pedestrian. I've almost been hit numerous times walking around the borough, not just at the borough, I've almost been hit other places, but again, things need to be done correctly so that we protect the public and so that we don't put ourselves in a position where we're liable when somebody gets hurt. So I think that's the way the effort is going. I don't think that we're looking at huge amounts of money, but I don't know. I don't know how much breakaway bolts cost. I don't have any idea, but I think we need to spend the money on
It's not the bolts that's the expense, it's the stop sign, it's the post. Cause you
Well,
have to,
we've got-
you have to buy a short post and a long post.
And we've got the signs, so it's the bolts and the,
Right,
and.
now you gotta look at the size of the signs
Sure.
and all that stuff. It's no sense in putting it back together if the
Well,
stop
I
sign is
think we can
not.
grandfather in the ones that are already
I
there.
don't know about that,
Yeah,
I don't either, but I know Kevin has done a lot of research.
that's what I
You
figured.
guys, did you remember how many years ago it was when there was a problem where a person got a citation for, I assume was running a stop sign? And, you remember this, Kevin?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you probably remember too, Bob.
We all do.
It was the one down on the
Yeah.
bottom of West Third
And
and
we had a whole
Patterson, I
list.
think, wasn't it?
I can't remember, yeah, there was a long list of all the stop signs, most of which were not in compliance. And, so, no, you don't get grandfathered in,
I didn't
okay?
think so.
You're either in compliance or you're not.
No, I mean the size of the sign. I know that PennDOT has increased or whoever has increased the size of signs, but I think that applies to new signs.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure either.
The new ones are 6 inches, a little bit bigger.
But we couldn't begin to replace 106 stop signs that aren't the right size. I don't think that we'd have the money or the
Well,
personnel.
if you're gonna do it, you gotta go all the way.
No, you don't have to go all the way,
We're
and here's why,
prioritizing.
Bob. Because we live in the real world, right? And I think anybody would recognize that if we have a stop sign that is 5.5 feet, when the spec is, if it's a rural setting, the bottom of the sign should be 5 feet. If it's an urban setting, it should be 7 feet, but we're at 5.5 feet. I don't think anybody's gonna say that we're out of compliance realistically.
Okay.
You know what I'm
As
saying?
opposed to
And
the,
we've got a lot of things
There's a
like
barrel
that,
cement.
you know what I mean? So we have a lot of stuff that we can just let ride and live with, because it's in that gray area, right? But this motion in particular is really to go after the most egregious things. And this is the business we're in, right? We have to spend money on road sign. That's what our municipality is charged to do, right? So if there's a cost to that, then we'll need to figure out how to deal with that cost.
And I'm a miser by nature, so I'm not gonna spend borough money that is not being well
But the
spent.
chief of police is here. Is there a gray area to them? So is there an urban or a suburban thing with
Specs are
lodges?
the specs. If you take something to court and there's an attorney there, they're gonna challenge whatever the specs and what the law states.
But that spec is, it's important to recognize that spec is, in a rural setting, it could be 5 feet, the bottom of the sign, from the road or the curb, the sidewalk to the bottom of the sign. If it's urban, and it says, literally it says, where there's traffic and there are pedestrian crosswalks and there are cars, parked along, it's 7 feet, right? What are we, urban or are we rural, right? I understand what you're saying, right? But really, are we urban or are we rural?
We're that gray area in between.
Or what's the middle between urban and rural, right?
Suburban.
So I don't know, this is why you guys spend days in court to argue this stuff out, right?
I wouldn't on that, okay, but that's just my personal preference. Okay.
But I mean,
I know what you mean,
it's,
Kevin.
we do live in a real world, we have to be
Yeah.
practical, and I think, reasonable. But having your stop sign in an immovable concrete barrier is
Yeah,
no
well, we
way
know
safe.
that's not right.
That's not right, okay.
But so what are we,
let's go.
what are you saying here? Are we gonna change them, get everyone into compliance, or just start a little bit at a time?
This motion is
One
calling
at
on
a
us
time.
to address select high priority stop signs.
Okay,
Bring
so,
those into compliance.
so what's more important, the size of the sign or the breakaway pole?
Well, the size of the sign, I wouldn't think is
So
very,
just,
it's 6 inches. I mean, the difference between the old and the new is 6 inches.
all right, so just go with
It's breakaway
replacing
pole and-
posts and stuff like that.
Yes.
I can run out and pick them up. We have to go to Ohio to get them. Out in Columbiana, I know where it's at. I've been out there. I've picked them up before for these guys.
Picked up what? The
Breakaway.
Posts.
posts and
So you tell me what we're gonna spend and then
We'll work with Brian.
they're very expensive.
are they?
Yeah.
We'll work with Brian and come up with a list, right? Because this, we moved this away from public works, we actually moved this into public safety here, and work with you, Sue, on this. Let's go ahead and call the question on this, Justin. Bob?
Yes.
John? Jason?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I vote yes, so this passes without objection. Okay, we have one more business item here, and that is to finalize our participation in the PennDOT's agility program. And so we talked about this at our work session meeting. To be into this program, we have to pass a resolution. This is a resolution right here. This is the template, PennDOT's template for the resolution. We were highly encouraged to use this template
Yes, we will.
because the lawyers in Harrisburg look at this and they reject it if it's not this template. So this is the template here, and basically it says that we are going to get into this program. This details and the specifications to be worked out, but this is just the municipality grants permission, right, to participate in the agility program here. So, Justin, your thoughts on
Yeah,
this
I'm for it.
resolution?
I'm
You
for
it?
Yep.
You'd like it?
I'm for it.
Let's do it,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
Mayor? Okay. Okay, all right. So we're gonna call the question. Any objections?
Nope.
No.
Okay. So we're gonna go, and I will send this in with the application as soon as I can, right? Probably within a couple of days.
You're just gonna find out what they're offering then, if we take care of their road, what they'll do
That's
for
all
us.
negotiable, right? And matter of fact, it could be nothing, right? But this gets us officially into the program and makes us eligible to have those conversations.
But you're not committing to anything.
Yeah, this is.
And we're not going to them and say, we'll do this for that. They come to us then?
No,
It's
it's
better.
a back and forth.
Okay.
It's a back and forth, yeah. So we don't have to we can just join this and let it sit, let it ride, do nothing, or we can be very aggressive, whatever, it's up to us.
It's good for what, 5 years, I think.
Yeah,
It's open for 5 years.
but we have to do this, this is a requirement, so we are good on this resolution. Okay, all right. Jason?
I would like to make a motion that we reimburse Mr. Tate for, if he's gonna pick this up, I'd like to make a motion that we pay him for mileage.
I'm not worried about that.
Well,
I
that's
just,
your choice. If you're saying no, then I'll
No, I'm
withdraw.
fine.
Okay,
Okay.
that's just,
Okay,
I don't mind helping out.
we need to review and vote on paying the bills, ratification, purchases made by oversight chairs. We're kind of in a, we don't really know what the heck this is this month, but we do have bills this month.
Keep the lights on.
Keep the lights on, and that's what this does. Have any objections to us keeping the lights on
Yeah.
here?
Nope.
Okay, so that is approved. Good and welfare, Kathy?
Here we go.
There we go.
There we go.
I'm sure everybody's noticed the room is done.
Looks amazing.
Looks beautiful.
Thank you. I think you need to acknowledge everybody that came to help. We put in 57 and a half hours in the last 3 days. And that was moving furniture, that was cleaning upstairs in the loft, back in the truck garage and getting rid of Christmas things from the fire department that didn't need to be up there anymore. Desks were removed from the office that Kevin plans on using and stored across the street. Gerald came in today and cleaned these ceiling lights for us. I think just everybody needs to be mentioned that helped.
Can you give me a list?
I will give you a list.
I make a motion that we double their pay.
I make a motion that we don't ever ask again. The other thing is Mr. Karcheski, when he walks every day, he will check the flowers at the monument, and if they need water, he takes care of that.
That's
He
cool.
should also be acknowledged for that.
John.
And the toys take care of the 3 vases down at the baseball field. When they need watered, Sharon and Jim take care of those.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nice.
We have to start to recognize people that are doing the work, or you're not gonna have anybody doing the work.
Good point.
You're not,
Yeah.
you're not. I ruined a pair of shoes crawling around on this floor over the last 2 days
Everybody likes it.
because of the grease in the carpet, which is my next subject. Room looks great, but that's like putting lipstick on a pig. What are we doing about the floor?
I had a conversation with Kevin just yesterday about changing the carpet.
Okay,
Okay, it's gonna cost for this kind of carpet and for buying the carpet and installing the carpet, it's roughly around $2,000. Taking up this carpet and whatever's underneath it and prepping it, I have no idea. So that's kind of open-ended right there. So you're looking at 2,000 plus tearing out the other. Now, if we want to go with carpet squares so that it ever does get grease spots or something we can't fix, peel it out, we get an extra box of towel while we're doing it, we save, and
who's doing that? Where's that coming from?
what's that?
Like, where are you getting that estimate from?
Well, I got that from Woody out at Home Depot for the price of the carpet,
Okay,
and I got a price from the guy that does our installs. He gave me a rough idea for installing it, which he works for
installing
Abby.
the carpet from Home Depot,
Correct.
not the square carpet.
Not the squares. I haven't got the price on that yet. The
Okay.
price is gonna go up for the squares. So
I have somebody who's willing to come and he has to measure the room. Works for a company that does industrial carpet squares. They have a system to put them down. If one's damaged, it lifts up, you put a new one in.
same thing we do.
Yeah. It may be a little bit cheaper because their company is now offering employees days off for doing community service. So.
We'll definitely look into it. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely.
But he
And
needs to measure this to get it.
I've got some tile. I've got some glue down vinyl squares, 2x2s, that I was wanting to get rid of. I got them listed on Facebook, and And my carpet guy called me and said, why don't you just use them, put them at the doorways and stuff to keep it, that's a good idea. So I would be willing to donate some of that stuff too. But that's where we're at so far. And I just started this yesterday, so.
Right, and this is, the process is, you guys are working on this, you have a great idea, put together a proposal, so we can take a look and see how we move forward with that specific proposal.
What about this table and tables and chairs for this room?
Gotta have a
I offered a donation of 2 8-foots and a 6-foot banquet table that I have. They're wooden, they're heavy, and I don't like dealing with them anymore, so those can be brought in. I'll donate them.
For free. For free.
For free. You might want to cover them.
So I'm trying to encourage you guys, make the plan, make a decision, right? Bring it to us, and then we will get you the money or the resources, whatever, but you guys are tasked with coming up with the plans, right? So if it's tables and chairs, particular tables and chairs, carpet arrangement, squares, whatever, have at it,
Okay.
right?
We also need, excuse me.
Go ahead, I don't know if you have any more.
We need that volunteer list that we all have to sign. Those girls on Monday could have gotten hurt moving furniture. So we need that volunteer list so that they're covered should anything happen while they're doing work here.
And leave the heavy lifting to the road crew.
Well, one ended up in the hospital.
They're here every day.
No, not with us.
They're here every day. They can
Well, he's out
We
now,
had,
and then
we
he's
had
coming
a
to work tomorrow.
6'3" guy come
Yeah.
and help us, and he did a lot of lifting, him and Chrissy,
Your
and her
point,
daughter.
your point is well taken,
You're
and, I've been saying for a long time, it's in the records, we need to have a policy in place for these events, right? In fact, this all started with you.
With the bees.
With the bees, which was like, oh, we need a plan for these
Well, the bees
events,
and
for these kinds of things, so no event's too small or whatever, so. And this goes back to what we talked about of having a policy in place here for this kind of stuff, so, yeah. Look, if you see problem, fix problem, right? That's what I think is, we all should get our heads around that. If you see something going on and oh, we should have a list, people on this list, get out a piece of paper, put them on the list, right? And we'll, you're dealing
Yeah.
with it. See
It
problem, fix
doesn't need
problem.
to be a specific list with some sort of
Yeah.
I don't,
a heading on it or,
I don't think so. Look, you got, there's a task force approved, task force. You guys are authorized to do this stuff. It's not like you're just, this is all renegade stuff, right? This is all legit. So, but I didn't make it up. It's an insurance policy. If you're on a list, you're covered by the insurance.
Okay.
And I have 2 things. The cabinet over there, if you're gonna keep it, I really don't think you should put the glass back in it. If somebody would fall against it and get hurt, I was thinking maybe just getting shelving to put in there, like the white painted shelving. So that, and if you're gonna get rid of it, just get rid of it. Especially where it's at. If somebody would trip and fall, they could get really hurt if that glass is heavy.
We could have moved that outside.
And then the other thing is, the 26th, 27th, and 28th, I'm gonna be away, so I can't open and close the park shelters. So somebody's gonna have to do that.
We can coordinate
And
that.
then so there's gonna be 2 times in July, but I can tell you those next month.
Okay.
Okay.
You said about the keys, you were
They're
gonna, okay.
Thank you
And then
both
I can
for
do
your
this one.
input.
And we need a sign on the doors that says no
Okay,
greasy shoes.
Anything else? Any good and welfare, more good and welfare? Okay.
Good and welfare, community day, I did reach out to a couple of groups, one's already booked, I was kinda hoping he was excited, one of the members, but then they're in New Jersey. And another one I'm waiting a response back. I do have a face painter tentatively. Anyone else have any other suggestions? I know I still need to reach out. That's on August 13th. Just so the police.
That's the day of.
That's our community day, cause the 6th is the car cruise.
No, the car cruise is the 15th, isn't it?
It's
Whatever
wait,
the
wait, hold on,
Saturday
hold on,
is.
let me grab, I'm looking at the wrong month. Hold on, let me-
Paperwork's laying up there
Yes,
somewhere.
it's 15
Hold
for the car cruise.
It's the 15th for the
Yeah.
car cruise.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so the 8th is the picnic then, okay, it's a week before, so it's August 8th. Okay, he had, alright, he emailed me back, said he couldn't do it, they're booked the 13th, that's why. So maybe they can on the 8th, but they're in New Jersey, so I don't know if they're gonna be back, but, the face painter, might be able to, we can also reach out to anybody who has any other suggestions, things to do, I don't know, like, do you want bounce, do we really wanna get into the bounce house? And that's a liability
No,
issue
definitely.
and stuff like that.
Okay, I assume your committee's gonna be working on that, formalizing.
Everybody has bounce
Yeah,
houses,
but-
that ain't much of a liability, is it?
Bless you.
I think it's somewhere in our regulations for the park that we're not allowed to have them.
Oh, okay.
We had them for the centennial.
Okay, seeing that we are down to our executive session, we are going to recess the meeting, go into executive session. When we come out, we're going to unrecess ourselves, and we're going to conduct no business, and we will then adjourn. Okay, so thank you all for coming. So let's go ahead and unrecess ourselves. Is there a better way to say that? I'm not sure. Let's come out of recess
Recess is over.
at 8:18.
To go back.
And we are back into regular session of our business meeting. And seeing that we have completed our agenda items, there's no reason to continue the meeting, and I will adjourn the meeting at 8:18.